Event Horizon is the scariest sci-fi film of the 90s, and the version you saw is the tame one.
Blame for the loss of the Event Horizon, and 7 years of shame.
Did you know 30 minutes of forbidden footage was cut, then left to rot in a Transylvanian salt mine? Or that Titanic accidentally doomed this movie? Here are 14 facts about the film that went too far, starting with the lost cut. 14. The lost cut. 30 minutes of horror rotting in a salt mine. The legend is true. Paul W.S. Anderson's original cut of Event Horizon ran roughly 130 minutes and was so relentlessly gruesome that when it screened, reports described test audience members fainting and rushing for the doors. A rattled Paramount ordered around 30 minutes removed, overwhelmingly the grimmest material. Then came the tragedy. In the pre-DVD era, studios saw no value in deleted footage. The excised scenes were shipped off to storage in a Transylvanian salt mine, genuinely a standard film preservation practice. And when the film's DVD success made Paramount come back asking Anderson to restore his cut, the footage had deteriorated beyond repair. The studio had junked the rest. The 2006 DVD scraps came from damaged sources with editor's marks visible. In 2012, Anderson revealed producer Lloyd Levin had found the full original cut on a VHS tape. Even Scream Factory's 2021 restoration hunt failed. Horror's holy grail remains sealed. 13. Titanic accidentally doomed this movie. Event Horizon's fatal wound was inflicted by another ship entirely. James Cameron's Titanic was scheduled to anchor Paramount's summer of 1997. Until its infamously troubled production forced a delay to December, blasting a hole in the studio's release calendar. Paramount's solution? Shove Event Horizon into the vacancy. The consequence was a post-production schedule that bordered on sabotage. Anderson was left with only a fraction of the normal editing time, reportedly around 4 weeks, to assemble a complex, effects-heavy horror epic. That compression explains everything that followed. The unrefined, maximum-strength rough cut went before test audiences far too early. Their horrified reaction triggered the studio panic, and the 30-minute amputation followed. Cuts Anderson has always maintained went too deep, a view even Paramount's then-chief reportedly came to share. The ship that sank in December sank this one in August. 2 maritime disasters, 1 studio, 1 summer. And only one of them won 11 Oscars. 12. The ship is secretly Notre Dame Cathedral. Look at the Event Horizon again. Really look. Anderson has confirmed the ship's exterior was modeled on Notre Dame Cathedral, and the interiors continue the blasphemy. Long, column-lined corridors built like a cathedral nave, a bridge arranged like an altar with a central podium, and, most explicit of all, the great window of the main chamber shaped as a crucifix, part stained glass, part Gothic cross. Even the vessel's silhouette, drifting in Neptune's orbit, reads as a vast cruciform. A church floating in the dark, waiting for a congregation. The design is the film's entire theology in steel, a sacred structure corrupted, a cathedral that went to hell and came back consecrated to something else. Scholars have literally analyzed the ship through the lens of medieval demonology, a trickster demon with corridors. Decades of haunted houses, haunted ships, haunted stations. And Anderson's masterstroke was making the haunted house a desecrated church with engines. 11. One Latin word changes the entire movie. The film's most elegant scare has no blood at all. It's grammar. The Event Horizon's distress signal contains a garbled Latin phrase the crew first decodes as "liberate me," "save me." A cry for rescue, reason to board. Only later does DJ isolate the full transmission and deliver the correction that reframes everything. The message is "liberate tutum et ex inferis," save yourself from hell. Not a plea, a warning. The ship never asked to be saved. It told them to run. It's one of horror's great translation twists, subverting the genre habit of conveniently precise translations. Here, precision is the horror, and the film seals it with a perfect exchange. Miller asks DJ if he actually believes in hell. DJ's reply, "Whoever sent that message, he believed in it." Every haunted signal story since, in games, films, and creepypasta, owes a debt to that single corrected preposition. 10. The hell footage used real amputees, and the crew went further. The film's most infamous 60 seconds, the recovered ship's log showing the original crew's fate, was engineered for maximum authenticity by methods that explain the test screening panic. According to widely circulated production accounts, real amputees were used for effects shots of crew members with catastrophic injuries, allowing mutilations that no prosthetic of the era could sell, and adult film. Performers were reportedly hired for the log's depraved sequences to push their realism beyond what mainstream actors would do. The result, in its uncut form, was less a scene than an atrocity exhibit, the material at the heart of Paramount's 30-minute purge. What survived into the release is a few strobing frames, capped by Captain Kilpack's Latin benediction, delivered while holding out his own eyes. Even trimmed to almost nothing, the log remains many viewers' single, most disturbing movie memory. Now imagine the version the salt mine ate. Test audiences didn't have to imagine it. 9. The writer of SE7N secretly rewrote it. Event Horizon's screenplay carries a hidden signature. The credited writer is Philip Eisner, whose famous elevator pitch, "The Shining in Space," sold the haunted starship premise. But before cameras rolled, the script passed through an uncredited rewrite by Andrew Kevin Walker, the screenwriter who had just detonated Hollywood with C7N. Walker's fingerprints are all over the film's cruelest instincts. Sin made physical, damnation as architecture, the conviction that knowing more only makes things worse. The doctor's box and the ship's log are cousins. Walker received no credit, a routine Hollywood arrangement, which means one of the era's most distinctive horror voices haunts this film the way the ship haunts its crew. Present, powerful, and officially not there. It completes a strange pattern in Event Horizon's DNA, the most influential parts of this movie. The lost cut, the rewrite, the inspiration we'll cover next are all things you cannot see. Quick airlock check. If this descent is earning it, hit like and subscribe, because we open a vault like this every week. Now, back into the dark, because the film's secret inspiration was hiding on a tabletop. 8. The Warhammer 40,000 Confession. For 20 years, fans of the tabletop universe Warhammer 40,000 insisted Event Horizon felt suspiciously familiar. A ship travels through a hellish other dimension without protection, returns haunted, its crew damned, which is, almost beat for beat, what happens in 40K lore when a vessel traverses the demonic warp without its protective Geller field. The resemblance was so strong that the film became fandom canon as an unofficial 40K prequel, depicting humanity's catastrophic first warp jump. In 2017, the truth surfaced. Screenwriter Philip Eisner finally admitted he's a Warhammer 40,000 fan, and that the game was indeed a major inspiration for the film. The fan theory wasn't a theory, it was detection. It's a delicious inversion of Hollywood's usual flow. A British miniatures game about Gothic cathedrals in space quietly shaped a Hollywood film about a Gothic cathedral in space. And the fandom identified the source code 2 decades before the author confessed. 7. The ending you saw wasn't the scripted one. Event Horizon's ending had alternates, and the scripted version was arguably crueler. The released film closes with the survivor Stark hallucinating the scarred Dr. Weir among her rescuers before waking, sedated, as a door eerily closes itself, trauma, and perhaps the ship, lingering. But as originally scripted, the final scare was different. Stark is assailed by the screaming voices of the Event Horizon's dead crew as hands claw over her body, a swarm of the damned dragging her down, until the nightmare resolves into the mundane grip of the rescue team, with Cooper rushing to comfort her. Same destination, a survivor who will never truly leave that ship, but a different vehicle. The released cut weaponizes one face, the script weaponized a chorus, Add the lost cuts, excised material, and the salt mine's casualties, and Event Horizon becomes a film with more phantom versions than perhaps any horror movie of its decade, fitting for a ghost ship. 6. Sam Neill quietly redesigned the future. With a flag amid the gore sits one of the gentlest world-building details in 90s sci-fi, and it came from the villain. Dr. Weir's uniform carries an Australian flag patch, but not the one you know. At Sam Neill's own suggestion, the Union Jack in the flag's corner was replaced with the Aboriginal flag. Neill's reasoning: the film is set in 2047, and he figured social attitudes, and perhaps Australia's constitutional relationship with Britain, would have evolved by then. The filmmakers agreed, and the future quietly became a place where his homeland had redrawn its identity. It's a blink and miss it patch that says more about 2047 than pages of exposition. And it's pure actor-driven authorship, the same species of detail as Gosset inventing the Drac voice in our Enemy Mine episode. Even aboard a ship possessed by hell itself, somebody was thinking carefully about flags, that somebody was busy being the Antichrist at the time. 5. The bomb that made Paramount beg. Too late. The numbers were grim. Roughly $42 million worldwide against a $60 million budget, mediocre reviews, and a fast fade from theaters. By every 1997 metric, a write-off. Then home video happened. The film found its true congregation on VHS, and especially DVD, where its initial release sold so unexpectedly well that Paramount came back to Anderson with a proposal that must have tasted exquisite. Would he restore the deleted footage for a special edition? Perhaps a full director's cut? You already know the punchline from number 14. The footage was gone, rotted in the salt mine, junked from the vaults. The studio that ordered the cuts returned, checkbook open, to buy back what it had destroyed, and found nothing for sale. There may be no cleaner parable of the home video era. The audience Paramount didn't trust in the test screening turned out to be the market all along. 4. A crew of stars nobody had met. Yet Event Horizon's manifest is a who's about to be list. Captain Miller is Lawrence Fishburne 2 years before The Matrix made him Morpheus. Commanding, unflappable, already fluent in doomed vessels. The pilot Smith is Sean Pertwee. Medical tech Peters is Kathleen Quinlan, fresh off her Oscar nomination for Apollo 13, trading one imperiled spacecraft for a damned one. And DJ, the quiet doctor who decodes the Latin, is Jason Isaacs, years before Lucius Malfoy and the Patriot. Presiding over them all, Sam Neill, weaponizing the trustworthy scientist persona of Jurassic Park into one of the decade's great heel turns. Culminating in the eyeless delivery of the film's immortal line, "Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see." For a failed film, it assembled a cast whose combined future franchises, The Matrix, Harry Potter, Star Wars for Pertwee's peers, would rule the next decade. The ship collected souls. So did the casting director. 3. The score is a war between an orchestra and a rave. Event Horizon's sound is its secret architecture, a collision between legendary film composer Michael Kamen, the maestro of Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, and British electronic duo Orbital, then gods of the UK techno scene. The collaboration mirrors the film's own possession metaphor. Kamen's cathedral-scale orchestral dread representing the sacred human world, invaded and distorted by Orbital's pulsing mechanical electronics, the sound of the ship itself, alive and transmitting. In the film's most unnerving passages, you can hear the machine music infecting the orchestra, exactly as the ship infects its crew. It was a genuinely unusual pairing for 1997, when techno in Hollywood usually meant cheap menace, not co-authorship. And the hybrid approach anticipated decades of scores built on orchestral electronic possession. The film's frequencies do to your nervous system what the gravity drive does to spacetime: fold it somewhere it shouldn't go, and let something through. 2. Its DNA is everywhere. Games, comics, and a series in limbo count The Descendants. The survival horror landmark Dead Space is Event Horizon's most famous heir. A haunted spacecraft, corrupted crew, and religious dread so aligned that the film is routinely cited among the game's foundational influences. The Warhammer 40,000 fandom, as we've seen, adopted the film outright. Modern horror space titles, ghost ship episodes, and The Signal Was a Warning stories all draw from its well, and the film now appears on published lists of the greatest horror movies ever made, a sentence no one would have typed in August 1997. The franchise is even stirring. In 2025, IDW began publishing Event Horizon, Dark Descent, an official comic prequel series, while an Amazon television series has been reported in development for years, drifting in its own kind of limbo. The film about a ship that returned from the void keeps threatening to do exactly that. Fans, understandably, keep sending the rescue party. One, the failure that became liberated from its own hell. Step Back and Event Horizon's arc is the genre's great resurrection story. In 1997, a rushed production, a mutilated cut, hostile reviews, a box office corpse. Today, a canonized cult classic, its influence stamped across games, comics, and 2 decades of space horror. Its director vindicated, its lost footage mourned like a burned library. The film's reappraisal tracks a broader truth. Audiences eventually found what critics missed. Beneath the gore, a genuinely serious idea. The scariest place a ship could go isn't another planet. It's the place our oldest stories always warned about. And the ship liked it. The final irony belongs to The Salt Mine, a movie about forbidden knowledge, about a vessel that saw too much and came back wrong, now has its own forbidden version, glimpsed by a handful of test viewers, described in legend, and physically unrecoverable. Event Horizon didn't just depict a haunting, it became one. Those were 14 facts most fans have never heard about Event Horizon. Which one haunts you? The cut rotting in a salt mine, or the Warhammer confession? Log your answer in the comments, in English, preferably. If this earned it, hit like, subscribe, and send it to the friend who still can't watch the ship's log with the lights off. Until next time, where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.